Alright guys, welcome back to another Dice Throw on How to Play. This is going to be Captain Falcon from the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So this is a Dice Thrown homebrew by Kevin Hull, which you can find on the Dice Thrown homebrew Discord that I'll link in the description. He made this Super Smash Bros. Character, which is based off, again, Captain Falcon. Of course, he's got a passive, and let's look at his dice anatomy real quick before we go over that passive. 1, 2, 3 is Falcon, 4, 5 is Charge, and 6 is Blue Falcon, his ship. So when it comes to Falcon, the main thing you need to know is your discard pile. You want to be discarding cards because that's how you get most of your effects. So let's look at his passive. Once during your roll offensive phase, you may remove 2 cards of the same type in your discard from the game to gain one of the following. For instance, for red cards, you gain 1 CP and rush tokens. Roll phase cards +3 and main phase cards make your attack undefendable. So for this time, we're actually going to have to draw cards because this character is all about cards. So we're going to start with 4 cards. And we're just going to keep all of these in our hand for now, except for this, because we can count this as any color for Falcon Boost. Boost, I believe what this means is that you can get, for discarding this, you may be able to get Falcon Boost. But I don't actually care that much, because I want to put this on my discard. So we're going to gain CP, we're going to spend CP to draw 2 cards. Okay, we want to put these, we want to discard these. So that's useless to me. So sell that for CP. Alright, so we've got 3 cards in our discard pile. We want to get more than those, but we want to try and get some tokens as well. So let's see. So during our offensive, we may remove 2 of the same color. So these are 2 of the same color. But this is when activating Falcon Boost. So realistically, what we want to do is do this. But that would only add +3 to our offensive roll. So let's actually see what we get. So let's say, for the sake of, actually we got something. We got 3 charges and 2 falcons, so maybe we can do this attack right here. Deal 6 damage, gain rush token, and add 3 damage if activated on your first roll attempt. Since we only rolled once so far, we're on our first roll attempt, we can do this. So we're gonna deal 6 + 3, so that's 9 damage. Now we can discard 2 of these cards to make them +3, and we're gonna do that. So we discard 2 cards that are orange for the roll phase cards, so we can add +3. So now instead of dealing 6, now we're dealing +3 because we got it in the first roll attempt, and +3 from our passive. So that's 12 damage onto our opponent. Let's say they do 3 back to us from their defensive, but we deal 12 damage to them. So now we have this rush token. So what does rush do? Well, a player with these tokens may spend them during their main phase. Once spent, remove and set aside the top card of your deck face down. You may look at this card at any time. You may play that card for 2 CP during its normal phase restrictions, then put it in your discard pile. During your upkeep, if any cards have been set aside by rush, put them in your discard. So it basically allows you to draw a card for free. So since we've done our offensive, on our main phase 2, we're going to spend a rush, and we're going to draw the top card in our deck. We can look at it, but we can't, it's not in our hand. We can't play it, it's not in our hand technically. 5 CP, change any 2 of your dice to a 6. That's kind of useless because twice as wild exists, so actually we're going to wait for that. So let's say our opponent attacks us with 7 damage. Well, we have our defensive here, which says roll 5, so we're going to roll 5 dice. We roll 2 charges and 3 falcons. So for every pair of falcons, deal 1 damage. We can deal 1 damage. For every pair of charges, we prevent 1. So we did roll a pair of charges, so we can prevent 1 damage. So instead of taking 7, we're taking 6. And then for every blue falcon, which we didn't roll, gain adrenaline or rush. So we're just going to take 6 damage. Alright, during our upkeep phase, we put all of our cards in the discard pile that we set aside with rush. So we basically just put that in the discard pile. So now we have a bunch of cards in the discard pile. So why are we putting cards in our discard pile? Well, we can remove these cards from our discard pile. I actually did this wrong. Shoot, we did this wrong. Alright, let's set that back to 40 because we did technically 9 damage. Alright, so we actually did this wrong. So these that we discarded earlier, we couldn't that didn't activate. This is from, you have to remove them from the game from here. So I don't think we actually have 2 of 1 card. Oh, we do. We have these 2. Because upgrade and main phase cards are technically the same color in regards to this. Because it says main phase that includes upgrades. Make your attack undefendable. So we can actually make our attack undefendable. But first we're going to draw and see. Alright, so I think what we can do is we can just sell these. Alright, so I'm going to sell this. And I'm going to sell this for 1 CP each. And so I think what we're going to do is this have a thing, maybe 2 cards of the same range, 1 and falling back. Let's say there's a max, you can actually do this. So this is 2 sets of cards on our discard pile. So let's say that we activate this. Inflict Bounty. We've covered this with Gunslinger. Deal 7 damage and choose to either discard 4 cards at the top of your deck, or you may Falcon Boost 2 additional times this turn. We don't actually have Falcon Boost, so we can't actually... We don't have Falcon Punch or Falcon Boost yet, so I would just do Falcon Boost, because I think this... Where is Falcon Boost? I think Falcon Boost is one of these cards, but I don't care about that. I wouldn't discard 4 anyway. I'll just activate Falcon Boost 2 additional times, even though I don't have it, because I think I need Falcon Punch for that. Anyway, I'm just going to activate 2 because I don't want to discard 4 at the top of my deck, because that just doesn't seem worth it. But now, what I'm going to do is remove these 2 main phase cards from the game with my passive, and now this attack is undefendable. So instead of dealing 7 defendable damage, now it's 7 undefendable damage. But I'm also going to remove these 4 cards from my discard pile, 2 orange cards, and add +3 damage. So now instead of dealing 7 undefendable damage, I'm dealing 10 undefendable damage. So my opponent just takes 10. And when a player afflicted with this token is attacked by an opponent, their attacker increases their damage by 1 and gains 1 persistence. So they actually get hit another time because of bounty, and I gain another CP because of that. Alright, so that's kind of Captain Falcon, but we have 2 more tokens to talk about. So let's say we get attacked with a couple damage right here. Let's say we activate Small Straight. We gain Adrenaline and deal 5 damage. And let's say that we did this on our second roll attempt, so it says gain another Adrenaline if you have any unused roll attempts. So we just have 2. We have 1 roll attempt left, so we gain another Adrenaline. Alright, so a player with Adrenaline may spend them during their offensive roll phase. Once spent, put the top card of their deck into their discard and gain an additional roll attempt. So let's say we go through another attack phase. On our next turn, we roll, and we roll something, and we can't get any combination whatsoever that we want. Like this. We can't get any combination that we want. We didn't get a single combination that we could get. So we can spend an Adrenaline token, put the top card on our deck in the discard pile, and then we can have another roll attempt to try and get what we want. And let's say we, let's see, like that. Oh, we have a Small Straight. Yeah, so we get a Small Straight, and that means we can activate this again, and we can actually use Adrenaline token here, remove this from our discard pile, gain another roll attempt, and then we can gain Adrenaline, deal 5 damage, and then gain another Adrenaline, because we have technically an unused roll attempt. But then we have, let's see if we have anything in our discard pile. Yeah, we have 2 orange cards. So let's remove those 2 orange cards from the game, like so, and then we can +3. So instead of dealing 5 damage, now we're dealing 8. And let's say our opponent does deal damage back to us, but we deal 8 back to them. Alright, so that's Captain Falcon, but there's one thing that we haven't got. This Falcon Punch token. Let's see here. I believe you have to activate... Yeah, you have to activate... Player, this ghost is discarded, only discarded to enhance. So, let's say that we get a Falcon Punch. The Falcon Punch token, which I believe you get... Yeah, get this from large straight. So large straight, we activate, we gain Falcon Punch and deal 9 damage. So we deal 9 damage to our opponent, they deal 3 to us. And then let's say that we activate large straight by spending a couple of these. Right here, we spend these. And we spend samesies to change our dice to get that large straight. Now, since we have this Captain Falcon Punch token, it says you may discard this token to Falcon Punch. At the large straight, you can see discard Falcon Punch and deal 18 defendable damage. Now let's say we have a blue card here. Do we have another blue card? Yeah, we do. So now we have 2 blue cards. We can discard these 2 main phase cards, the 2 blue cards, so now it's only dealing 18 defendable damage. We're dealing 18 undefendable damage, which basically ends the game. So you can basically punch your opponent and end the game immediately with your large straight if you have the Captain Falcon token, which is OP. So yeah, and of course if you have 2 roll phase cards, which I don't think we do. No, we do, yeah. Remove these 2 from the game. Now it's +3, so now you're dealing 21 undefendable damage, which is pretty much a game over. The 18 undefendable damage was pretty much a game over, but you can add +3 and then seal the deal with 21 undefendable damage. Pretty much a game over scenario, especially if it's 2 card turns in. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for Captain Falcon. Remember to like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe down below if you're new to the channel, and of course, I'll see you guys with the next hero. Toodaloo!